to it. I want to talk a little Matthew Golden. This is going to be a real quick seg here. I really think this is awesome. I found a video where someone had filmed the drafting of Matthew Golden from the crowd at Lambeau Field. Really, really cool shot. And I want to give a shout out to, God, I can't remember who it was now. It was on Twitter. It's been shared around several times, so I don't even know who the original author is. If you guys know who it is, shout them out in the chat. We'll make sure we give them credit. But I wanted to talk about why he chose the number 22. This is pretty cool stuff. But first, let's check out from the crowd here in the Lambeau Field parking lot. Oh, let's hit this first. King Tron with the super chat. Y'all miss me? Hope everyone is golden. Number 22. Appreciate you, Tron. Good to see you in the house, buddy. Thank you for the super chat, man. You are awesome. So this is a really cool shot, like I said, from the crowd. All right. I love how everybody puts it together. Tim, when he says for the first time since 2002, you literally hear people go across the crowd, receiver.
They already knew what time it was.
It is awesome. Check it out.
With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002. Matthew Golden.
How awesome is that, man? Oh, it's so electric. It's just such a good draft, man. And I'm sure it was just as enjoyable watching it from home as it was right there, at ground zero. But Tim, that night when they announced Matthew Golden, bro, it was special, wasn't it? I know we wasn't at the draft at that exact moment, but it's pretty cool getting to experience history like that.
Yeah, I was kind of dumbfounded a little bit. I was just in shock. I remember being at our draft party, and yeah, man, what a wonderful way to get the draft started. And yeah, you could see the dramatic pause for effect that Mark Murphy had in his delivery there. I thought that was a total pro right there at delivering Packer fans some news that they really wanted to hear. So yeah, what a great moment, man.
Yeah, Jacob, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but there's been several fans that don't like the fact that he's wearing 22. That looks weird. I can't get used to it. Blah, 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 blah.
We got linebackers wearing single digits now. Relax.
A bunch of boomers. So I didn't realize all the level of detail he went to in terms of choosing a number 22, which is really cool. And first of all, I want to just point out, look at the ink on his legs there. You see it on his leg, says fear God. One leg says fear, the other says God. Love it. Absolutely love it. So here is why he chose. And this is what he said on a video over at Packers.com. He said, why did he choose number 22? He said 2 was his late great-grandmother's favorite number, right? And that's why he wore it at Texas. So obviously that was his college number. The last time the Packers took a receiver in the first round was 2002. And he said 22 teams passed up on him in the draft. He said he chose the number to keep himself motivated. I don't know how you guys feel about Matthew Golden. Maybe he wasn't like the top guy on the Packers draft board in terms of maybe there was someone in that same tier that had a little bit higher grade. But Jacob, it sounds to me like the reason the Packers chose this guy over some of the others is you hear about his humble upbringing. You hear about his work ethic in college. You hear his teammates just rave over him. You see his ability to create separation at the college level. You've seen the contested catches, even though he's not a huge receiver. But it just seems like he's got the right attitude to be a Packer, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm personally a super big fan of the 22. I think I saw, 12 for this said the same thing. To me, that's what I do on Madden, man. I go in there and I give everybody a crazy, funky number. You know what I mean? I got offensive linemen with double zeros. I don't care. No, but honestly, the 22 is cool. It is unique, but I think it will kind of, it highlights him in a way that's different where it's like, I want to remember that, not in a bad way. You know what I mean? I don't want us the next time we see a wide receiver strain, I'll be like, oh, here we go again. Right. What happened with Golden. I really do think, though, that this season people need to really put just maybe tamp down a little bit the expectations because this wide receiver room is so deep and they're so talented. And for him, I mean, hopefully he does. If he does, it means that he is that good because he's got maybe 5 or 6 guys that have legitimate NFL experience that have shown that they can do it, know what it takes. And for him to just step in and go to the top of that heap, I don't really know. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope he does it. I don't expect all that right away. I think that it's going to be a 2 or 3 year process until we see the gold of Michael Golden.
It's funny too, Jacob, because like as you're saying that, I'm usually that guy going, hey, it's a rookie, tamp the expectations. I'm kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum with this one. And the reason being is you've got Christian Watson, obviously, is going to be missing significant time. So that spot is open for someone with speed to take the top off of defenses and let Reed and Dobbs and Wicks and those guys work underneath. Tucker Kraft underneath. We'll talk about him in a minute. And I don't know. When I look at Golden and I hear what Jordan said at OTAs, and I know people were going to think, yeah, they're always talking up their guys or talking up their guys. But the way he said and what he said really stood out to me of all the interviews. When they asked him about it, he said, yeah, he looks really polished. That's not a line that you recite, Tim. That's not like okay, guys, we're going to go out there, and if we're talking about teammates, you go out and say they're polished. To me, Jordan, I think, was probably a little impressed at OTAs. Like, damn, this kid, pretty crisp route runner, got good hands. Like, he seems like he's ready to go, right?
Yeah, so, I think and Jordan's not a BSer type of guy, right? I mean, he seems like a very genuine type of dude when he's speaking. So, yeah, I think that was probably just from the heart and a genuine reaction for sure. Yeah. I mean, he gave us gems like this, right?
I don't listen too much Taylor Swift.
Doesn't get more straightforward than that.
I mean, it don't get any more straightforward than that, right?
Yeah. So, again, maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid here, and Jacob is the more accurate, person in assessment. But I don't know. I got a feeling Golden's going to come out and just be like, all right, dang. Kind of like Jaden Reed his rookie year. I know Jaden Reed played in the slot, and there's a lot more touches there. I think that's the other thing that kind of takes me a little in that direction is the fact that defenses started to hammer down on Jaden Reed in the slot last year. And now if they're going to continue to do that, you need someone who could take the top off out of that 2 and a dagger and also work that dig, which, by the way, Golden does that really well. Like I don't want to say most of his film, there's a good chunk of his film at Texas where he's running that 10 to 15-yard dig route. That's a crucial aspect to dagger. And if you're going to have, a trip set and you put Jaden Reed in the 3 like we seen on tape last night, showing some of those 5 incompletions that we kind of broke down. If you've got him in the 3 running that crosser and you're running dagger out of it, maybe you got Dobbs running the seam route, and you let Golden run the dig, and then you switch it up and let Golden jump into the 2 and run that seam route or that non-fade. So I don't know, man. I'm excited. I think reasonable expectations for Matthew Golden. I would probably put somewhere between 600 to 1,000 yards, kind of the 1,000 being the ceiling, and anything over 600, I'm gonna go good rookie season. Good rookie season. Seeing that the majority of the manufacturing and Matt LaFleur's offense is kind of coming from the slot and working to the tight end in passing plays. I don't know if that makes sense, but
when you mentioned, it just triggered this in my head. You had in 2022, we had Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs. That was 2 receivers in the draft class, correct?
Correct.
Then we got Jaden Reed and Tay Wicks, and now we get Matthew Golden and Savion Williams. I'm starting to see a trend here. Right. You've got these high-level, high-talent guys that are unheralded, unproven, and they pick each other up, and they make our receiving core that much better. I mean, I think over time, as the team develops and gets older, and we don't have to keep talking about the youth factor and all of this stuff, we could have 3, 4, 5 Pro Bowlers on the all pros on this offense for sure, especially in the wide receiver room.
Yeah. And again, I know there's some people that are probably going, oh, man, y'all got too high expectations. That's okay. You can fan that way too. I'm just going off of what we seen in the offense last year. And again, what did we do last year? We pressed into the run heavy, right? We ran the ball, I think, 51 or 52% of the time, which is the most we had ran it since Ahman Green was the running back, I think all the way back to either 2002 or 2003. So, again, like we talked about, Hafley's defense may take a slight step back because teams have a lot of film on him now. These defenses are going to go into this season looking at the Packers offense going, all right, we got to stop the run. We got to stop the run. And if Jordan Love is completely healthy, which I think we all believe he is, you're going to be under center more, running more boot action, and that's going to open up the pass. I don't know, man. I got a good feeling about the pass. I think the running game will take a slight step back, and the passing game will take a pretty good step forward, seeing that if Jordan stays healthy. Like I said, he missed pretty much the majority of 3 games last year, essentially, is what happened. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I didn't want to – I was trying to figure out a way to make this into a segment, but honestly, it's good to just get the information out there. So as much as I was just kind of saying pump the brakes with Golden and what we should maybe expect production-wise, I found it very interesting. I was looking through a bunch of fantasy football stuff. I already got the bug, already doing some best ball drafts. And in underdog.com, they already have season over-unders that you can get in. So right now, Matthew Golden – they're given basically setting his par at 749.5 receiving yards and over under with a 4.5 over under on receiving touchdowns. And they're usually pretty spot on with their projections. I mean, that's what makes it so tough. Everybody thinks, man, it's really easy. I can pick. It's really not. It's crazy how good.
You don't believe
to your point,
bank account.
Exactly. To your point about them kind of easing off Jacobs a little bit more, they have him estimated at 199.5 rushing yards with only 0.5 receiving touchdowns. If you're looking to place a little action anywhere, I thought that was a steal. And then 10.5 rushing touchdowns.
Gotcha.
And they actually ranked Jordan Love's projections up to 35.99.5 with an over under at 24.5 touchdowns with a half a point or a half of a playoff game started over under. Really interesting stuff there. So if
that is
underdog, maybe to me that half a touchdown receiving for Jacobs is take the over, bro. They're not letting him do that anymore.
I'm taking the over on all those J Love props too.
Yeah. Where did they have the touchdowns at, Jacob? Did you see the touchdowns for Jordan or no?
24.5.
24. Oh my
over.
God. Over. Hammer that thing. Hammer it down. Got to hammer that down. Ed Madden in the chat says dig routes and out routes. Golden excels out at should open things up for Reed. And you guys remember the Wolf concept that we ran a lot last year as well. I think Golden can run a corner route just as well as he can an out route too. I mean, he's a pretty polished route runner. He really is. Now, am I saying he's going to go out there and just torch man coverage? I have no reason to believe that as a rookie. It's going to take some time to get used to the speed of the game and creating separation at the NFL level. But I swear, I think he's going to have a good year, man. And the fact that you said that over-under set in the 700s, Jacob, that makes me feel real good about that 600 to 1,000. That's good stuff, man. Appreciate you providing those numbers. Another point here, Johnny B in the chat says Golden also going to benefit from finally having a good quarterback throwing to him. Man, Quinn Ewers was so highly touted. I want to say he was considered the best quarterback in his class. His sophomore year in high school, they had already said he's going to be the best senior coming out of high school. Like they just marked him at that. And again, I don't look at these college players or specifically Quinn Ewers and say, here's how I see him. I listen to the people that I trust the most. And Greg Cosell said, I've never liked his tape. And the fact that Golden gets drafted in the first round with Quinn Ewers, who had an arm injury as well, if I remember correctly, it was arm. It might have been an oblique, but I think it was an arm injury where he didn't have that zip on the ball. That's why you see Matthew Golden having to pull up on so many deep shot throws to slow down and adjust to the ball, make the catch. I think it's a great point, Johnny B. He has never played with a quarterback with Jordan Love's arm talent. There's no two ways about that. So you're probably going to see the best version of him. He doesn't strike me as the type of receiver, too, that would not benefit from having a little more zip on the ball. He's got strong hands. He attacks the football. He plucks it out of the air. I think he's going to be just fine with Jordan. It's going to be exciting stuff. So
compressed, compact route runner, too. No wasted motion. We were talking about that the other day. Mm-hmm. And, can you imagine getting him in a little bit of space